Good morning to all. Welcome back to 7th Standard Social Online class. Students, we are learning History Unit 2, the Mughal Empire. In our last class, we have learned all the great Mughals, 6 great Mughals. This great Mughal Empire was founded by Babur. Then after that, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, they ruled the empire. In last class, we have learned about Shah Jahan period and Aurangzeb period. Shah Jahan, he was the builder of the great Taj Mahal, and his original name was Prince Salim. And he ruled India nearly 30 years. After the death of Shah Jahan, there was a war of succession among his sons, 4 sons. Aurangzeb was third son. Aurangzeb, he killed his 3 brothers and he became the next emperor. He also established a vast empire in India. You see this map. This is the empire of Aurangzeb, the important map. And we have studied the administration of the Mughals, the central administration and provincial administration and local administration we have finished. And the Mughal army consists of infantry, cavalry, war elephant and artillery. The Mughals, they introduced Mansabdari system. This system was introduced by Akbar the Great. Up to this we have learnt already. Today we are going to study about the land revenue administration of the Mughals. Land revenue administration was torn up during the period of Akbar. Raja Todarmal, he was a Rajput minister, revenue minister of Akbar, adapted and refined the system introduced by the Shah. So this land revenue administration that was renewed by Akbar. Raja Todarmal's Zapt system was put in place in the north and northwestern provinces. According to the systems, after a survey, lands were classified according to the nature and fertility of the soil. That means first they undertook land survey, which is the fertility place, which is the medium fertility place, and which is the non-fertility land. Like that, they classify the land. After the survey, they fix the tax according its fertility. The share of the state was fixed at 1/3 of the average produce for 10 years. So 10 years once they have to pay the tax according to their harvesting. 1/3 that was fixed as a tax. During the period of Shah Jahan, the Zapt and Zapti system was extended to the Deccan provinces. So this system was introduced during the period of Akbar. This Zapt system that was extended, introduced in the Deccan province in the South India also. The Mughal emperors enforced the old Igda system, renaming it Jahir. The Igda system, it was renamed as Jahir. It is a land tenure system developed during the period of Delhi Sultanate. During the period of Iltutmish, they introduced. Under the system, the collection of the revenue of an area and the power of governing it were bestowed upon a military or civil officials named Zagirdar. So each Jagir was under a Zagirdar. Zagirdar is nothing but a military officer or civil officer. So they have the power to govern the places. Every Mansabdar was a Zagirdar if he was not paid in cash. The Zagirdar collected the revenue through his own officials. The Amal Guzar, note it, the Amal Guzar or the revenue collector of the district was helped by subordinate officers like Poddar, the Kwanungo, the Patwari and Mukadams. So the Amal Gozar, he was a district collector. He has the full power to collect the revenue. So for collecting revenue, he appointed some small officers, sub or subordinate officers. Those appointed to collect the revenue from the landholders were called zamindars. The zamindar collected taxes and maintained law and order with the help of the Mughal officials and soldiers. The zamindar has the power to maintain law and order within the Igda, within the land. The local chieftains and little kings were also called zamindars. But at the end of the 16th century, the zamindars were conferred hereditary rights over their zameen. The zamindar was empowered to maintain troops for the purpose of collecting revenue. So the hereditary right was given to the zamindar. They have the power to maintain law and order and also the troops for the purpose of collecting revenue. The emperor granted land to the scholars, holy men, and religious institutions. These lands called Suyirgol were tax free. So Suyirgol is nothing but these are the lands gifted to scholars, holy men, and religious institutions, and they have no need to pay tax to the government. Now we will see the religious policy of the Mughals. The Mughal emperors were the follower of Islam. Akbar was very liberal in his religious policy. He was a tolerant person. He accepted all the religions. In Akbar's court, the Portuguese missionaries were great favorites. Akbar tried to include the good principles in all religions and formulated them into one single faith called Deen Ilahi. You underline the words, very, very important one. Deen Ilahi means divine faith. He collected all the good principles from all religions and he established a new religion called Deen Ilahi. Jahangir and Shah Jahan also followed the policy of Akbar. But the last six great Mughals, Aurangzeb, rejected the liberal views of his ancestor or predecessors. As we pointed out earlier, he reimposed the jizya and pilgrim tax on the Hindus. Jizya means is a religious tax. It should be paid by non-Muslim. During the period of Akbar and Jahangir, they abolished the tax. But this tax and pilgrim tax again reimposed by this Aurangzeb. His intolerance towards other religions made him unpopular among the people. Now we will see the art and architecture of the Mughals. Babur introduced the Persian style of architecture of India to India by building many structures at Agra, Biana, Dholpur, Gwalior and Kyul. Kyul is nothing but Aligarh. But only a few of them exist today. Humayun's palace in Delhi, Dini Pana, was probably destroyed by Sher Shah Sur, who built the Purana Quilla in its place. The most prominent monument of Sher Shah's reign was his mausoleum built at Sasaram in Bihar. You underline this one, it will come for one word. Sher Shah, he built a great mausoleum at Sasaram in Bihar. Students, see this. This is Purana Quilla. It was built by Sher Shah Sur. Already in this place, Dinipana, that was built by Humayun, that was destroyed by Sher Shah, and he built this Purana Quilla. The Diwani Khas Diwani Am, Panch Mahal, pyramidal structure in 5 stories, a Rang Mahal, color palace, Salim Chisti's tomb, and Buland Darwaza is a great door, were built during the period of Akbar. Jahangir completed Akbar's tomb at Sikandara and the beautiful building containing the tomb of Itmat ud Dawla, the father of Nur Jahan, at Agra. You see this? This is Buland Darwaza. Shah Jahan's time witnessed the climax of Mughal splendor. The famous peacock throne and a line covered with expensive jewels. It was made for the emperor to sit on it. So it was emperor's seat. Chair. Then rose the world famous Taj Mahal by the side of Jamuna River at Agra. Note this one, the great world famous Taj Mahal that was built on the side of the river Jamuna, that also built by Shah Jahan. Not only that, he built Moti Masjid, that is, this palace is fully made up of pearls. The Pearl Mosque at Agra, the great Jamma Masjid of Delhi, and Diwani Khas and Diwani Amin is palace in Delhi. Students, this is Diwani Khas. In this place, the king he met his ministers. This is Diwani Am. This is the people court. In this place, the king met the ordinary people. This is Diwani Am. During the Aurangzeb reign or period, architecture did not receive much patronage. The Bibi Ka Maqbara in Aurangabad, a mausoleum built by his son Prince Azam Shah, as a loving tribute to his mother in the late 17th century, is however worth mentioning. Students say this is a red fort. Every year, our Prime Minister he hoisting the flag here. A red fort also called Lal Villa. Lal means red color. In Delhi was the residence of the Mughal emperors. Constructed in 1639, this red fort is the resident place of the Mughal emperor. It was constructed in the year 1639 by Emperor Shah Jahan. Note this word, Red Fort was built by Shah Jahan as the palace of his fortified capital Shahjahanabad. So a city Shahjahanabad that was built, in that city the Red Fort was constructed. The Red Fort is named for its massive enclosing walls of red colored sandstone. Why it was called as Red Fort? Because the wall is fully made up of red colored sandstone. So it was called as Red Fort. So very important monuments in our country. Students, we have completed lesson 2 in history, the Mughal Empire. So today we have learned about the land revenue administration of the Mughals and the religious policy. Akbar introduced which religion? Yes, Deen Ilahi. What is meant? Divine faith. That means he collected all the good principles from all the religions, from Christianity and Hinduism, Buddhism, like that. And he established a new religion. So after the death of Akbar, this Deen Ilahi also disappeared. And we have learned about the art and architecture of the Mughals. The Babur, he introduced Persian style of architecture. Then after that, Akbar, he established many buildings, and Shah Jahan, he established the great Taj Mahal, Red Fort, like that. Students, I will give today one word. You mark the one word in your book and study the detail and write one time in your homework note. Thank you.